and it's about sore necks and.
Oh, interesting. Like a partnership?
Yeah, like it's a. I didn't watch it, but it's like a video with Bert.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Bert's.
What's a bed cooler? Like it just makes your bed nice and chill?
Yeah, it's like a top layer.
It's like a
it's
heated
electric.
blanket, but like the reverse.
Yeah, it's like a mattress cover that sits on top of your regular mattress, and it's got like a cooler unit connected to it. It's water, and it'll either heat up or cool down your bed, whatever you want.
Nice.
And it runs on an app, so you can like change it.
Does it feel weird?
No, I don't think so.
Because that's what I hate about covers sometimes. Like even a Tempur-Pedic one, like they'll move weird, or it feels like it's disconnected from your bed. You know what I mean?
Okay,
it feels like you're laying on I hate even laying on a blanket because it like shifts weird.
This may not be for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel weird to me, but this may not be for
I'm
you.
a sensitive bitch.
I hate when there's a blanket underneath the
Yeah, you know what I
comforter.
mean?
I only sleep with like a comforter. I don't use like a sheet.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. You must be in that generation because there's a whole
maybe.
generation of people who just don't know about a top sheet anymore.
No,
I have it,
We
I
have
just don't
one
like
on
it.
there. I just don't use it. Kelsey
Yeah.
uses it. She has like 4 layers.
Yeah,
I'm
she
like,
probably
just
gets
give me a
colder.
comforter.
I sleep with 4 pillows.
My
I
comfort.
have 2 pillows for sure.
Oh,
I do double stack.
I heard, I heard the more pillows you have in your bed, the lonelier you are, and I have like fucking 30. None of them are like animal shaped,
I
but
used to love a good body pillow.
I'm
Those
so
are the shit. You
this-
have one between your legs and you got it on your
Yeah.
head, dude. You're good.
dude, I'm double fucking body pillowed up.
Dude,
Either side because I roll a lot,
Okay, so
and
you're
so
like
I have a lover on both
kind
sides.
of packed in there.
Yeah, I really am.
Dude.
It's kind of
You're having a
embarrassing.
pillow orgy up in there.
I have
That's-
2 pillows on the opposite side of the bed that
Yeah.
no one uses, that just sit there like a ghost girlfriend, and then I have 2.
Phantom girl.
Yeah, then I have 2 bodies that I roll back and forth on. It's embarrassing. Delete this, Jim. I'm gonna be lonely the rest of my life.
I have 4 memory foam pillows. One of them is kind of a neck pillow for
Yeah.
my head,
Yeah.
and then the other 3 like ankles, knees, shoulders.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
knees and ankles is a good one. You know what I saw? I don't know if it was TikTok. I'm getting way too much of my life information from TikTok, but some
You and
dude,
Kelsey.
so it really is good though.
So
You
we're
get
doing a new TikTok hack with like some kind of cleaning solution.
No,
to
there's
that
good
every
shit.
day.
There's really good shit
No,
out
there's some
there.
good shit on there.
If you get in the right algorithm and not the weird like fucking just people dancing, someone made a cube pillow. I've had an idea to make a pillow.
I've seen
my
that.
entire fucking life.
I've seen the cube
Because
pillow.
if you have some
It looks
shoulders,
legit.
it looks legit. He's like, what angle is this? Like, why are we sleeping on weird thin ovals? I'm like, you're right. I'm always sleeping like cockeyed, or I'll use like
Not good for the spine.
I'll do like 3 pillows to like prop
I do
myself
2
up.
to kind of make up for that.
Yeah, but if you have a cube that's semi-stiff, I also don't mind stiff beds. Like
That's that little nook in
Perfectly.
your neck, your ear to the
the
shoulder.
the idea I've had, and then I saw someone did it, but they just marketed shittily, is like if you have some shoulders on you, where do you put your arms? And I know there's we should have a chiro on one time to talk about, maybe not even chiro because they're all fucking misinformation everywhere.
I got like 10 Cairo friends, so we don't have any shortage of that.
Yeah, we have some too, but everyone has a different opinion because it's not like so science based. Like the best position to sleep in.
Yeah.
I grew up with a chiro because I've always had back pain, and she said on your side, body pillow between your legs.
Yeah. That's
But-
basically
Makes
what I
sense.
do with multiple pillows.
Yeah, me too. But some say on your back now, or whatever. Either way,
I used to be a big side sleeper, but now I'm a straight up back sleeper now.
I'm
I don't know
trying
what
to-
happened. I changed.
I try to go back sleep, and it
I just
does
go
help my
and head
back.
to the side.
Yeah, but if you're on your side and you have some shoulders on you, where do you put your arm? Because that shit always falls asleep.
Oh, dude, I used to have that big problem with that. I would wake up in the middle of the night just panicking, just swinging my
Yeah.
arm. Is this ever going to come back?
Yeah,
Is my
yeah.
feeling ever going to come back?
Yeah, or if you have to pee in the middle of the night and your left arm, you're on your left side, ladies and gentlemen, for our audio listeners, and your left arm falls asleep, you can't get out of bed.
Dude, no. It's
Literally can't roll out of bed
terrifying.
because you can't stiff arm yourself up.
Is this permanent?
Yeah,
That's the first thought that goes through your
it's
head.
very
This is
scary.
never. I'm never going to get circulation back in my arms. Now I have no arms.
Because like if you're sitting, like I get it in the podcast sometimes, but I get the tingles. Like, all right, my leg's falling asleep. When you're sleeping, you're probably in that position for like 6 hours. Your arm's dead.
There's no blood in your arm.
It's literally dead. But my pillow idea is like a body pillow connected to your top pillow, like kind of those pregnant-ish lady ones or whatever.
Yeah.
Except there's a hard tunnel for your arm to go through.
Oh,
like
they
you
make
slip it in.
they make those.
I know, but I saw it too. I've had this. I swear.
My wife had one. They are not comfortable.
So I've had this
They're
idea. I
not
swear
at
for
all
25
Arms
years.
just soaked in sweat.
Yeah,
Like,
that too, and how they market it's shitty, and then it has to be a good combination of stiff pillow and soft pillow, which they don't do. Like you need a bottom layer of stiff to hold the structural integrity, and then a top layer of soft. But I think they're all really hard. I don't know, but something needs to help.
Well, we need to do a collab with Jim's cooling system mattress thing. Put it in the circular part of the.
I've bought that bullshit too. Not an electric one. I bought a non-electric cooling pillow. I'm still sweating my balls off.
What about the My Pillow?
What's that?
That's the My Pillow guy. He has the pillow where it's like a bunch of little foam squares. It's supposed to be like the best pillow
That sounds good.
in the world, according to that guy.
I'm really
Crack
into my
addict to CEO.
I'm really into my sleep. Like I have a $45 therapeutic whatever eye mask.
Okay.
I spend extra dollars on my shades to keep it nice and dark. I only run my AC at night, and it's like a refrigerator.
Yeah, I have to be cool room, like 75 in my room tops.
75's way too hot for me.
Really? 75 for me is like money.
I'm large. You know, I'm a little fat right now.
Yeah.
Every 10 pounds I gain, you got to go like 5 degrees cooler. So like when I'm in okay shape, maybe I can do 70.
75.
Yeah, right now we're like 68.
I hate to mention the name of this company because like they sent me a thing about affiliate program, and then some weird thing happened with that, and I don't know, like it was like a weird spin-off name, and then there was a email bounce and whatever. It's like, fuck it, I'm not gonna pursue that at the moment until I have more time. But anyway, though, it's crazy because we don't have an air conditioner back there that currently works. Our heat pump died a few years ago. I mean, it works, but it blows smoke, so that's not really working, I guess. And it's holding off until we remodel back there. And this thing, you can set it at like, the last couple of days have been hot, and so I've been setting it at like 66.
Yeah.
And
Probably feels so good.
And the surface that I'm sleeping on is 66, and I can put a blanket up over me without dying.
I think
like
that's the
sweating
thing.
like a pig.
I have to have
I
a
like
blanket.
one leg out. I'm like a one leg out kind of guy.
Yeah, your leg is your radiator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good point.
All those memes are going out like I got to sleep with one leg out. I don't give a fuck anymore if monsters snag me or something.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah, one leg out, head on the back now, one leg out to the side. It's kind of my new move.
I will sometimes finish the night on my back,
Yeah.
and because I have sleep apnea, I'm on a CPAP, so I can be like, I can pull the cover totally up over my head,
That's kind of nice.
and that is totally nice.
My
So
wife's
it's
like a stomach sleeper. I can't not do that.
I used
I
to.
couldn't do
no
that.
way.
That fucks
I
up your
start to-
back and your shoulder.
I feel terrible. Like I just feel like I need to move. Like I feel panicked.
Years and years ago, when I had a waterbed, I could sleep on my back.
What was a
Dude, water beds?
What
man.
was the idea? Like, I get it was like kind of an 80s thing or whatever, but like, was the idea for it to be comfortable, to be cool?
form-fitting to your body,
Yeah,
right?
healthy.
Yeah.
Healthy, yeah.
Yeah, theoretically, it was
Yeah.
supposed to contour
Yeah.
to your body. It didn't really work like that.
No, I heard they're terrible for your back.
Yeah, they also make sex weird.
Yeah, I can't
And
imagine.
they're also just not very comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've never
they're
even
not.
been on one. I don't
Remember,
think.
like our neighbors' parent, like when we were growing up, like the family we'd always hang out with, like their parents had like the water bed.
Yeah.
And like we would like, because it was so even weird then. Like
Yeah.
we'd like go sit on it. Like, oh, this is kind of fun for like a kid. And, like I could never sleep on that. I don't know.
No, I need my shit rock hard.
You know what's
so to
surprisingly comfortable is like an air mattress.
Oh, they can be.
Surprisingly comfortable
Because you can pump the
sometimes.
fuck
You get
out
a
of
nice
They're
one.
not bad. Yeah. I got it when I was a kid because my allergies were so bad. Like,
Oh, really?
and
That makes sense.
mattresses
Yeah.
retain a lot, and it's like all new pillows and foam pillows instead
Yeah.
of down pillows
When
and
we
all that stuff.
when we first moved to our first house out here, we bought like a nice bed, like our like first like nice bed, and it's like a hybrid. So it's like half box spring, like quality box spring, and then the other top half is like a Tempur-Pedic.
I think that's what mine is.
It's like a hybrid. It's like right in the, and it's amazing. Love it. Like if I get out of bed or she gets out of bed, you don't even feel the other person
Yeah.
getting out of bed, but it still has like the box spring, so it's like, I guess more cost efficient. It wasn't like as expensive as like a full on Tempur-Pedic, but it's like I wouldn't even know there was a box spring under there. Or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah. I think
half,
mine's
half
like
spring
that.
or whatever.
I think mine's like that.
We just have the big foam pad on top of a regular like pillow top mattress that's it's probably 12 years old now, honestly.
Yeah.
And maybe longer than that. Could be 50. I don't know. Mattresses are difficult to dispose of in the waste stream.
Oh no, you just dump it on the side of the road.
Exactly. That's the thing. Yeah.
Go down to Scott Road out in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Dump it off.
In my neighborhood, it's the turn of Elvis.
Oh, yeah.
Off of Folsom
Yeah.
there. Yeah, people
Yep.
just dump shit all there
Yeah.
all the time.
It's a good spot.
Yeah.
That'll get taken up by the local
Campers.
campers
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
There's
Oh
a
my
nice
God.
little white van that's always out there that parks like in the trees. They'll snag
yeah.
it up.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, though, we got this like Costco memory foam pad, and it is great for comfort. But the problem was that it just retains so much heat.
Yeah.
And so this thing solves that problem. Like it's not hot anymore. I don't wake up sweating like a pig.
Sleeping's so important. We spend. I'm 32. You're 32, right?
Yeah, about to
So
be
like
33.
we've been asleep for 8 years of our
Oh,
life.
yeah.
So like, think about that.
You know what I do love
8
is
years of
I'd
our
like
life
to
we've been
sleep the
asleep.
next 8 years of my life and not be any older when I wake up. That'd be nice.
possible. all the grind, murder, kill entrepreneurs of the last 10 years. I love to see the trend because I'm petty.
Mhm.
I love to see their trend over the last 2 years talking about sleep because the previous
the
8
wave,
years.
the sleep wave.
Yeah, the previous 8 years are like, get up at 4 or you're a pussy and you ain't going to be successful like me.
Sleep 3 hours is all you need.
Yeah, grab coffee, get on your jet, and head to meetings. What are you doing? I've already done 8 business meetings and you're sleeping in. Like, fuck you, dude. Like, I've said it forever, too. Like, this is the one thing I can, hang my... Like, I've said, I'm more efficient when I sleep 8 hours in 1 hour than you petty-ass bitches waking up at 3:30 doing nothing. You're cloudy-brained.
Yeah.
And you're getting nothing done. You're just awake to be awake.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. And your workout sucks, Dwayne Johnson at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, if you slept a little, drink less tequila, slept a little more, you'd probably
Yeah.
be working out way better.
Well,
Yeah, well, and also he's just on so much steroids, it's unbelievable. So like,
Not
he's
to the
gonna
world,
get
though.
gains no matter what.
How's that crazy the world still don't know? Or doesn't care? I think they don't know.
It's hard to watch
Or
sometimes.
Thor? They just wrapped up the new Thor.
Yeah, he looked jacked.
He looks insane.
gigantic.
His arms are IFBB arms.
Yeah.
He's gigantic.
It's
currently.
so stupid. And I don't think he's short. I think he's like 6'2", 6'3". Like, he's a fucking tank.
Well, Hollywood in general is just like one giant steroid cycle. You know what I mean? Like they're all look at like even like what's his name from Batman? Not Ben Affleck, but he was probably on some sauce too for when he did
The vampire.
the other one.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Like that guy's been on and off sauce how many times?
You know the one I don't think was, me and Dan were just watching it this weekend, is Bane. I don't think Hardy was on anything. He didn't look that good. Go rewatch
You can
it.
get dirty bulky. Like he was kind of dirty bulky. You can do
He
that.
looked kind of trendy for that
maybe.
Warrior movie that he did.
Oh, maybe
yeah.
Warrior, but in Bane, he like turned around, and I remember seeing it in like high school, I guess, right? We were probably like seniors or freshmen in college. I remember that. I'm like, oh my god, he is so jacked. And
He's
then
also like what 5'8".
I've heard he's like
5'8", yeah.
I've heard he's like 5'6", and then he
listed
turns,
at 5'8".
Yeah, and then he turns in that thing, and he doesn't really even have traps. He kind of has turtle posture,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like he's all like
If you-
Warrior. He was pretty nuts.
Yeah.
If you look too close though in that movie, you just see all the makeup like pillowing up, covering up all of his tattoos like
Yeah.
on his body.
Yeah. His skin looks weird.
It looks
which
weird because it's just caked in makeup.
This is why Mark Wahlberg got his tattoos removed.
Oh, really?
Did he get like
'cause
laser on it?
Yeah, because if you look at, what's that? Perfect Storm.
Yeah.
Perfect Storm was the movie that he had to have body makeup over all the tattoos.
Well, we spent an
And
extra
it
4 hours before shooting that to get there to cover all that shit up.
Yeah,
so
and then
annoying.
sometime after that was like, oh, I need to get rid of these.
What's his name too? The comedian that was dating the pop star. He's on SNL.
Pete.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about
Davidson.
getting all of his like hand tats removed.
Oh, yeah.
Because of
Got
like it's just been pain in the ass for like
I watched like
makeup and stuff.
the little movie based on loosely based on his life.
Oh yeah, King of Long Island or
Yeah.
whatever it was,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
This is whatever.
Yeah.
I also think he's not that funny.
I
so,
want to like
you
him.
know,
I
me
think
too.
the thing
I
is
think
I
he's
want
cool.
it. I don't even like him. Yeah, I want to.
Yeah, I'm the same way with that other comedian that does like that. Did that like those little 1 minute man shows like on.
Oh, Schultz?
Schultz.
Schultz is all right.
I think his stand up is not very good.
I haven't seen it, and it's hard to tell with all comedians nowadays. I feel like, and maybe this is again being like judgmental, but I feel like Schultz's Instagrams were so clean
yeah.
that like maybe he wrote a good amount of it, but he's got writers.
Yeah.
Like I could deliver like
It's a
that.
team.
Yeah, you give me that script, I could deliver just like that. Where stand up maybe I think more. You do have
He
writing.
credits his team a lot though. For
That's
those
good then.
videos, too.
Because yeah, I've never seen his stand up, but I don't know if he's funny. But he was so good on those. He was so quick.
I think podcasting has done a lot of good for comedians, but then also you end up starting to pick a side of like what part of that person you like. Do you like
Yeah.
the podcast
Yeah, yeah.
comedian or do you like their stand-up?
I don't love
'Cause for
Rogan's
me,
stand-up.
I don't really like any of my favorite comedians' stand-up very much compared to their podcasting. It's
Yeah.
so much better. But like I know that they have to hit certain points to sell tickets and to appeal to a bigger audience. They can't get as crazy and wild.
Yeah, and they think of themselves as
It's very
comedians. It's kind
calculated.
of like us, really. We're like, I'm a coach lifter podcaster. Even though I like podcasting more, and if I could, but I wasn't like, we've never had like notoriety. I don't know how to say it. You have notoriety because of your podcast, but people don't know us as podcasters. People know us as like fitness folks.
Yeah.
You know what I
see
mean?
it.
And that's kind of like the same with the comedians. Like, yeah, Rogan's a podcaster, but even still, he claims comedian, and so does everyone else.
Yeah, I mean that's just like his whole thing. Right?
Yeah.
That's how he became who he was.
On that
right?
same note, I was watching Tom Segura stand up,
Yeah, yeah,
and I like him.
yeah.
I like to hear him talk, and I think he's funny and he's witty and he has good conversations. And then I watch his stand up. I'm like, you go watch some fucking. I was one of my first dark places was like 17, 18. And I guess maybe first time I dealt with depression. I started watching just an insane amount of stand up, trying to shake myself because I didn't know you don't know what the hell's going on at 17.
Escape. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like the old Eddie Murphy,
They just don't do comedy
the
like that
old
anymore.
Chris
Well,
Rocks, just absolutely insane.
It's the well, I think what's also hurting stand up is like the cancel culture stuff,
Yeah.
right? It's just destroying like stand up comedy. You can't really say and can't be like
Yeah.
you can't just be funny anymore without people taking it too serious.
We just had Lisa Lampanelli on the last podcast, and she was like the first one to come up with that. And she said it, and I was like, yeah, I agree. I was like, your job is to entertain. Like, it should kind of be say whatever the fuck you want.
the only person that's still kind of doing that, right? It's like Bill Burr. He just kind of doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like you can't I'm uncancelable. Like I'll say whatever I want.
Yeah.
Like what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And
It's like
it's interesting.
his turn on Star Wars, on Mandalorian. He's like, it was awesome. I just did what they told me to do, and like, it's cool. And if I come back, that's cool. If I don't come back, that's cool too.
It's honestly it's almost shocking that they even considered putting him on there.
Yeah.
and he's
because
really
he's-
good.
Yeah.
No, he's great.
Yeah.
And his role was great in Mandalorian. It was awesome. Like I think he delivered well. I think he fit the vibe of,
Right.
of the show. And it's just because Star Wars has become like so PC, like like covering all bases.
Yeah.
It's like I'm shocked that they would take a risk like that.
Right,
Because
even
they're very calculated with like minimalizing risk
For
and
sure.
I think any kind of backlash. So I was shocked to see him on there, but I was also like relieved to see them like give him somebody like that, just like who is talented, letting them do their thing.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
hear a lot of backlash. You heard more backlash about stupid Elon going on SNL.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Gina Carano got totally canceled off of
that's
Star
true.
Oh,
Wars
then
because
they canceled her entire series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, she was gonna have her own show.
Yeah.
on,
on that.
Disney Plus. Yeah,
Gone.
gone.
well, I feel like this about cancel culture now. I think it happens too fast and doesn't last long enough.
Well, because no one I think really is after the issues. They're more
No.
just like
So
Yeah.
if we should cancel the people who really need to be canceled,
100%.
and we shouldn't preemptively cancel people who have a little bit of shade on them from something that happened,
10 years
something
ago,
they
yeah.
said, or 10 years ago, or whatever. They're people who need to be canceled long term, which actually gets us around to this film.
Yo, what's up with our boy Jared?
Oh man,
Bro, so after that, I
Then you
Googled.
just, yeah.
I
okay.
Googled Jared, and I was telling Kyle this just before. I'm looking around, and nothing really comes up. Just Subway stuff. And I'm like, what
Really?
are they fucking hiding? Like, wasn't he straight convicted?
Yeah.
Like, they
Oh, I
found
think he did
tapes.
Time, right?
They found
Yeah.
tapes
Still
on
in
it.
jail? Or no?
I don't know. They found tapes.
I don't know. I
though.
think he might still be in jail.
I don't know how that. Yeah, I don't know.
They
how that
found
shook
tapes.
down.
I think he did interviews admitting how he groomed young people.
Well,
and
then- yeah.
you Google it, and barely anything pops up. They just say Jared from Subway.
Is Jared from Subway still in jail?
Oh, that's nice.
Search.
And then it makes it even worse in hindsight, obviously, that he's hanging out with a bunch of kids in
Dude,
the movie.
in that movie, dude. That's what I was just gonna say. That
It's
was
so-
so gross. dude.
Yeah.
You
Today,
see him talking to it just like you just when you have that information,
Ugh.
you see that and you're like, oh, this is fucked up.
The whole movie's kind of gross.
The movie's gross.
I didn't remember how gross it was.
yeah, we're talking about Super Size Me in case you didn't get that from the title or anything else that we're talking about here. Jared is like figures prominently. He's sort of the through line. He's sort of the beginning and the end of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple things, right? So we
a
got
little choppy with that. It wasn't
Yeah.
like super
yeah.
smooth.
No, but they mention him a lot as kind of like the golden string, the C line.
Yeah.
The main one is this dude's eating 30 days, 3 meals a day, McDonald's only, and measuring his health, which we'll dig into that propaganda. And then the other line which I forgot about. I don't know the last time I saw this, but it was a while ago. The other line was the two girls suing McDonald's.
Yeah.
Right? Those are kind of the three stories that were
Which was like not even really a story. They were just like updates. Like
right.
Small, little, quick little updates.
I think he just couldn't get the info, I guess, so they didn't make it a real story. But yeah, they just keep kind of saying it like they're still suing them, and that's it.
Yeah, it's a through line. I mean, think about it. This movie is supposed to be a little bit over a month, right?
Sure, yeah.
I mean, the timeline is supposed to be a little bit over a month, so using that just kind of scaffold the story.
Yeah,
not like a through line, but I just like to say up front, this movie sucks. It's really bad, and it makes me crazy.
Is it the biggest nutrition movie? It has to be, right? Like, it's huge.
Almost without a doubt, yeah.
I hate that.
At least definitely by, like, name recognition.
Yeah.
I mean, what else? I guess what else is there?
Yeah. No,
besides
this is
maybe
the
one about, what was that big one that came out like 5 years ago, maybe less?
Not Game Changers.
Maybe that one.
Game
Yeah, I think
Changers
the vegan
last
one?
couple of years.
Yeah, that got because that had Arnold behind it.
Yeah, forks over knives.
True.
I honestly haven't heard that one.
I've heard of it, never seen it.
Yeah, the director of West Side versus the World was the editor on.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's a good friend, and he absolutely believes that like vegetarian veganism kind of has its place.
Sure, everything has its fucking place.
But yeah. So
what I hate, and I guess maybe this movie set the precedent for the rest of them because it is the biggest, quote unquote, or at least our opinion, nutrition-ish video, is that there's so much propaganda and like it's so blatant.
Yeah.
Like he's measuring his health, right? Like that's the number one story. And he even says like, I walk a lot. I live in New York. The average New Yorker walks 10 miles. I'm just going to stop walking.
He's cooking the books a little bit.
Yeah. Weird, dude. Weird your health got worse when you just stopped walking.
Was he also like traveling the U.S.?
I think just for random interviews, yeah, because he went to Texas, but he doesn't really say why.
And then he went to like Illinois at one point.
Yeah,
I would
really
be willing
why.
to bet that all of that did not happen in a month.
Probably, yeah.
Because there's so much intellectual dishonesty in this film that I don't trust the timeline.
Yeah.
And
right, because and again, like
that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know the whole thing. And Jim said it like because you watched what last week. You said it in passing to me. We try not to talk about it a lot because we're obviously going to talk about it live on air.
I always wait until like the day before we do. These,
yeah, I watched it
like,
last night.
I'm fresh on.
Yeah,
and like I don't forget anything.
I couldn't bear to watch it again.
Jim's like that thing sucked, and in my head I didn't get defensive, but I was like I didn't think it was that bad. And then I rewatched it. I'm like, this is the bad YouTube video.
Yeah,
like I could literally film it. Organize
I didn't think it had much of a budget. So
yeah, but even still, literally, when did it come out? 2010-ish?
How much money is this movie?
Or a little bit older? Oh,
no, 2004.
Okay, so all right. Even still, though, like I feel like you could do a better YouTube video in 2004. Like better production, pure production.
Maybe so.
Well, he did
like he's fucking
handheld...
vlogging, and it's like down by his crotch, and he's looking down. Like just fucking hold the camera up. But like just like vlog 101. Don't put it down by your crotch. And that's to every Instagram. A lot of you are my friends out there too. When you guys are doing fucking Q&As and you're showing your triple chin, what are you fucking doing? I'm not taking 100 photos to like post my best lighting or whatever. Like I'm not that guy. But there is some basic shit where if you're doing a Q&A and you're answering a question, why is it like down 45-degree angle from your right eye? Just lift the fucking camera up at least eye level. Like, what do you... people with hundreds of thousands of followers that do this for a quote-unquote living.
Get a tripod.
Get
a small tabletop tripod.
Even just your hand. Like, you're so bad. You're so bad. And I'm not the king of vlogs, and I'm not the best content creator ever, but there's some basic things that you should just know.
Yeah,
and that's one of them.
I would agree with you. This movie, according to IMDb, $65,000 budget, grossed $11.5 million. 20 in the U.S. and Canada, over 20 million worldwide. And
I'm in the wrong business.
I would just tell you that the documentary that I was tangentially involved in that started filming in 05, 06 was highly inspired by this movie as well as the Michael Moore films. And this guy loved that movie.
Yeah.
And it is almost about the same level of intellectual dishonesty, to be honest.
Do you think you could make that movie without that budget today, if we started today?
No,
we could probably film that. We could probably film that
so cheap
for What, including food cost?
Yeah,
$5,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say 10
If you
grand.
don't have to buy the equipment,
If you already have the equipment.
If you already have the
not buying
equipment
it- buying
But
it,
even
not buying
still, like you can rent equipment. Like I'd say 10 grand if we wanted to travel and get
and
some
make it
sick
look like
interviews.
really nice and like
nice,
really good
nice.
editing with
100%.
like, infographic pop-ups.
Oh,
and stuff.
100%. Yeah, with Fiverr, you
Dude,
could get
yeah.
a sick infographic for $10.
Yeah, you can have someone edit. We've done videos through CK
Yeah.
with like people on Fiverr, and they
Yeah.
make like the dopest like YouTube pop-up
100%.
stuff. Like
No,
it's like so crazy.
There's YouTube videos that, and obviously it comes down to personal preference at some point, but so much better produced than this, and they're one-man shows.
yeah. Well, if you think this one looked amateurish, the response video that came up, or documentary that was in
Is that where
2009, Fathead.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
That's where he loses weight eating McDonald's every day?
Yeah, yeah.
Which is, I think the concept there is much less propagandized. I think I saw this once a long time ago.
You would think
The
but
idea,
no.
just the idea.
the
Yeah,
basic
yeah,
idea,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
If you the propaganda-free version of
I
this
know.
is what Jordan Syatt did
Sure.
in 2019.
On
He ate
YouTube.
just a Big Mac a day, and he lost like 7 pounds in the course of a month.
Or even just
With
maintain
no other
your weight.
food.
No,
he
he just
ate-
counted his macros.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was just he
Okay.
was
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was in a calorie
Yeah.
deficit the whole
Yeah.
time.
I think
That's
basically
the-
to kind of F you to these two that are just so.
But it's pretty different though, right? This guy was eating it for 3 meals a day, including all the sodas. And
Yeah.
juices,
So like even that I would love to do and just like keep my health fine. Work out the same. You go Diet Coke instead. Like little things. You go Diet Coke instead.
no sauce on the Big Mac. No
Yeah, you
spread.
go-
can
no mayo.
Easily cut
Yeah.
off like 400 calories right there.
Yeah.
Don't put the ranch on the salad.
It's-
You'll lose 400
or,
calories.
or little tricks that like it's kind of a meathead trick, but you don't put your salad dressing on your salad. You dip your fork in the salad dressing and then you take a bite of the salad. Like so you get such minimal residue on the fork, but you still taste it. Like just little life hacks that don't fuck shit up. Like that's how I eat now. Yesterday I ate out twice. I ate In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A, and I'm down 5 pounds in the last 3 weeks. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like it's so normal.
yeah, for sure.
But they make it seem like it's this fucking El Diablo.
Well, the theory behind this movie is that America got fat because we started eating fast food,
Which is
instead of
trash,
making
too.
Food. No, it's the issue is that we started overeating stuff,
Just in general,
and
yeah.
like
Sure.
and Lane likes to say hyper palatable food. So
course.
people just keep eating and eating and eating.
But you can point to anything. I could say that Ford Motors made America fat. I could say refrigeration and GE made America fat. And those
I
are
would
all
say that horses made America fat
Yeah.
because people rode the horses instead
and
of
you,
walking.
And you
from
can
town to
root it
town.
all down, and those are all a factor for sure. If we had to walk or ride my bike, I ride my bike everywhere. And that's part of why I just started to lose 5 to 10 pounds because wintertime, I don't ride my bike. Summertime, I ride my bike as my main transport. I lose weight. Wow. If we didn't drive so much, you lose weight. If you just walk casually and drive, you lose weight. If we don't have the excess of refrigeration where we just have huge pieces of pizza from Saturday sitting in our fridge for 10 days that we nibble on, you lose weight. Right? Like if you have to cook your meal every day, and even if you're cooking burgers and bacon and cheese, and you can still lose weight. It's not that hard.
I'm not convinced that if he just that's not the right way to put this. I think that if he just included his normal walking routine
Yeah, it would be minimal.
in the throughout the documentary, he would have not gained any weight.
Right.
Because he gained about a pound a day.
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So eating McDonald's 3 meals a day, which seems like not that much weight.
Right.
But like he also probably had a decent metabolism, I'm guessing, because he was kind of a lean.
He's kind of
Yeah.
a skinny guy.
So
yeah.
it's like, okay, well, you literally cut out, let's say on an average, 5 miles of cardio a day out of your routine,
Yeah.
and then you gained about a pound a day over the course of 30 days.
100%.
And like that could have been just from that alone.
My high school basketball coach, one of my first mentors, super into fitness and just a healthy dude. Played some pro baseball, just been like athletics his whole life. And he always used to tell me, and I didn't get it then as much, but he always said he's like exercise is way more important than nutrition. And then you first dive into the fitness industry, or like I did, and everyone says like kitchen this and abs are in the kitchen, and some of that is true. But I do agree for like general health and like life that exercise over nutrition. Like everyone says like you can't outwork a bad diet. Well, like yeah, if you're eating Ben and Jerry's 8 times a day, you're not going to out jog those calories. But I agree with Dean 100% that if you are even semi moderate
yeah.
with your lifestyle, or consistent even, it doesn't even have to be moderate, because no one does that. No one goes 5 pints of Ben and Jerry's 7 days a week. right? They'll eat like kind of McDonald's and kind of whatever, and then they'll go binge on a Friday, and then they'll kind of, right? Even if you're just consistent, but you exercise, and you don't have to exercise like fucking Mike Tyson or anything.
You go on walks.
You walk a little bit. Maybe you have a resistance lifting day. Maybe you do some yoga. Maybe you play with your dog a little bit more than it's not
Go
just the
golfing
couch.
or whatever, yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything that's a semi-active lifestyle. And golf's a great example. Like something that you enjoy. That's why I like my bike. I hate cardio. I'm not going to go for a jog, but I like riding my bike around town in a
And
sunny
also
day.
it's like your commute because you're live in a city.
100%. I get some fresh air, whatever, and it's something that I can do every day forever. It's not doing hill sprints till I die, and then you're like, that sucked. I'm not doing that again. I 100% think that McDonald's and whatever's fine. Even the nutritionists, right? They interview the nutritionists, like 70% of nutritionists say that you should never eat this stuff. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, you
fuck
can,
you.
It's not. It's all about everything's in moderation. Of course, if you eat fast food every day and you don't exercise, you're gonna gain some weight.
Yeah, and on what
It's not
basis?
like rocket science.
What's the basis? Because then, like, if you're talking like pure like science, like essentials, then like, should you ever have alcohol? And then yeah, nutritionists would say no. Like, we don't need alcohol. Sure, but like that's not the That's not the applicable conversation. We're not reading a textbook. Like, does a human need vodka to survive? Of course not. Does a human need McDonald's to live a healthy life? Of course not. But like an applicable way to live life that doesn't stress yourself out. And that's kind of where the evolution of nutrition talk in our world has come to, is the stress of you having an internal battle day in and day out of not eating nuggets less healthy than you just eating some nuggets.
Yeah, which gets us back to if it fits your macros and
Kind of, yeah. Like
whole thing.
just having no guilt about that, which that's the biggest issue here, right? Is guilt,
and that's what Jordan was trying to do with
Right.
his documentary. You know, the 30 days of Big Macs.
Right. Or when I go to In-N-Out, I don't get fries. And if I want, I get 2 burgers. And if I only want, I do 1 burger, and maybe I'll get an ice cream cone. Or like that's like balance doesn't mean like I eat an apple and then I eat a cookie. Like it's just kind of like
skip the bun, not because you're afraid of carbs, but just because it's less calories.
People made fun of me
It's
for
just
doing the
flat, less
Diet Coke
calories.
deal, right? Like, hey, yeah, I'll take two burgers of fries and a Diet Coke. Like, ha ha ha! Why don't you just do it? Fuck you. That's
because
how
I don't want to drink an extra 300 calories.
Yeah, I'm just saying
like,
no to those calories.
This tastes just as good, if not better. I actually prefer diet. So.
I do too now, and like, yeah, that's not a huge deal. Or same thing. I'll go bunless at In-N-Out and go fries.
Yeah.
Like I don't think carbs are going to kill me, but it's just like monitoring it a little bit.
Well, I'm pretty sure. I think I've seen this on TV or like on SportsCenter or some shit. Anyways, Chad Ochocinco, he eats a Big Mac every day.
Oh, no, he's a huge McDonald's guy.
He's like literally goes to McDonald's. Like it was like maybe not every day, but like he eats a McDonald's and has a Big Mac like pretty regularly throughout the week in his diet.
Just like
And
last
he's
week.
one of the most athletic people on this planet that we've ever seen.
Yeah,
so it's like
he was talking shit on Twitter just last week. Someone said like humans would be better without McDonald's. Fuck, I should have screenshotted that. It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Said something about McDonald's, like McDonald's should just disappear something, and Osha's like, I got an issue with this or something.
Dude, yeah, because he literally like I remember seeing it somewhere. It's just kind of one of those things you hear.
Yeah.
If you're like pay attention to sports or whatever, it's like he eats a Big Mac every day.
Yeah,
it's part of his thing.
Is it the most nutritious thing you're gonna have? Fuck no. Is it gonna kill you? Fuck no.
No, yeah. The thing is that this goes back to the whole premise of the movie, that fast food is supposed to be terrible for you, and what they counter that with is Subway.
Yeah,
Or-
that's bad.
Like
Yeah.
Subway's
Or-
healthy.
Or his girlfriend's like vegan
Yeah.
stuff. His girlfriend who he married and then they got a divorce, and there's like a line somewhere, a quote from him saying, "Shout out to my ex-wife's medical insurance for getting me healthy again." It's like, dude, what the fuck?
Well, that's
like that's like douchey times 2.
You also
know what I mean?
barely gained any weight.
Yeah,
You
get over it.
you had like a little bit of a slumber.
And they say afterwards, right? Like it took him. And this stuff, I don't know about the timeline. I am kind of sketchy, like Jim. Like I don't know what the fuck they're actually doing with the timeline. But this is what I tell people with strength and fitness too. Like it took him 4 weeks to gain about 25 pounds, right? And it took him 6 weeks to lose it. I'm like, yeah, that's how it goes. That's to lose strength. I took like you take like 3-6 weeks off strength. It'll take you another 6 to 12 weeks to get your strength back. Like that's just how it goes. And so like some of that timeline works, but the vegan shit, what I don't like is they just claim it healthy. Vegan's healthy, but like you make a quesadilla with all this sour
just all
cream
carbs
or
and
whatever.
fat.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, what do we
it could be
know? What do we
way
know?
worse than McDonald's.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And same thing with home cooked meals. Like, if your parents know how to cook, I was lucky enough my mom cooked awesome, like a lean meat or a meat and a veggie and a rice, and boom, we had that every night. But some people are just doing like a hamburger helper or
Yeah.
whatever like that's
Yeah.
healthier because it's made at home. Like that's
Yeah.
the same shit.
Yeah, no, there's no difference. And even like back to like those, like when we were talking about like the school meals and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of those school meals though, I was like, man, like I remember in high school like going up to the line and getting nacho cheese fries and a slice of pizza, and I'm like, man, like yeah, it was good and yeah, it was fun. Maybe this is me just being older and more educated, like, but like that's not what they should have been giving us to eat at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's the
Like
key.
that's not ideal.
I think that's the key to the whole thing. In that one interview was kind of cringe, and he didn't push that hard. He just kind of played dumb when he was talking to like the food lady at the school.
Yeah.
Is that all of it is based on education. And that's where they kind of touched in at the end, where I started to agree. He started to try to find the nutritional facts at McDonald's, which might be a national law now, but I know that
Now it all has to be listed. Like you
Yeah.
on the drive-through menu.
Yeah.
Actually, by the way, I did celebrate this podcast this morning by getting a egg McMuffin
I should have.
at 9 o'clock this morning after mine and Danny's little like coffee meeting we had
Yeah.
this morning. I swung into the drive-through
They're good.
line.
They're
I
good.
got an egg McMuffin to celebrate today.
They
And
are
it was,
good.
It was delicious.
And you can get like an egg white one now, and obviously things evolved. And I actually do think this video probably, or this movie probably caused some decent change. Like who knows, that nutritional stuff might have helped. Like a lot of people talked about this movie.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, it's kind of a social engineering thing. Number one,
Yeah.
like trying to let's not tell the absolute truth. Let's tell a story that affects behavior.
Sure.
That's an entirely different thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you telling the truth or are you telling a story? They're
Yeah.
telling a story here.
And-
And in most documentaries, that's true. They're telling a story.
Because you have to, right, to catch the audience, and that's obviously like where all our stuff kind of like quote unquote falls short. Like YouTube's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you get the hot girlfriend, get the Ferrari, get the $1 million, and that's how you vlog.
Yeah.
But like I'm not gonna vlog that. I don't believe in that. I'm not gonna go lease a Ferrari just for shits and gigs
it's
to get more
all
views.
it's all the show. It's all
It
a
has to
charade.
be. It has to be. But what they started to tap into, even though they should have just dove in, is the educational factor of it all. Like nutrition
Came
for
in
kids.
too little, too late.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the nutritional facts on the wall. All right, that's a piece. But like he's interviewing all these grown ass people in New York, and they're like, "What's a calorie?" And no one can answer the fuck a calorie is.
Yeah.
Like
That's a
just that
problem.
alone, and that's where I do kind of like. I'm happy I tried all these bullshit diets in my early 20s because they did teach me about reading labels. Like I had a nutrition class. I went to a couple college courses on nutrition and sports performance and stuff. But until you start to apply it to your life, like I did a keto thing, and then you start to read. I know how much carbs are in every meal on the planet now because of that. Like I'm not a huge keto guy. I don't think it's the end all be all, but it taught me how to read labels really well and understand calories and portions. And until you track your macros religiously, until you start to weigh out portions, until you take Cinnamon Toast Crunch and pour out a serving and see what that looks like, you don't know.
Yeah.
And the one nutritionist touched on that. She's like, oh, like a serving of meat is this, and most people don't know. And you go to a steakhouse, but just because a serving of meat, it's just still propaganda. Because she's like, you should only eat this deck of cards size of chicken.
Everybody's different.
Why couldn't she say like, no, it's okay to eat the large steak you get at Outback or whatever, but it's the balance overall.
Just
or
don't
whatever.
do it every single day of your life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be 3 meals a day or whatever. So like they started to get there, and 100% with the kids too. Like the kids had no idea.
Yeah.
You give your kids $10 at the cafeteria. Of course they're gonna buy chips and soda.
If you don't buy weed.
Yeah, they didn't dig into that. But
But then the chips and soda.
that's the other movie too, though, right? Super High Me.
Yeah.
I saw that. That was.
I haven't seen that.
I watched
one.
that like 10 years ago too.
It's what you expect.
Yeah.
Guy getting high the whole time.
Dude's just an excuse to get
yeah.
extra stoned.
And he was in the Oregon documentary.
Yeah, he was.
That's his celebrity
And
status.
into like full circle.
Doug
This
Benson.
This movie was on the shelf
Yeah.
in one of the scenes.
Yeah.
I think that's might have been like. I remember seeing that when we watched the Blockbuster documentary. I was like, oh, there's a Supersize Me.
Yeah, I wonder if one of the producers kind of wiggles through them all or
I
something.
don't know. I just.
Well, then you had that poor girl that was talking to Jared from Subway.
Oh.
That was yeah, poor girl on multiple accounts. She was so misinformed.
Yeah.
By that Subway is her only escape from
I
being
know.
obese.
She's like, I can't get skinny because I can't afford Subway.
I can't afford to eat Subway 3 days a week, so I guess I'm just going to be fat the rest of my life.
How wild.
That's what she thought.
Right.
And her
that's-
mom just sat there and didn't know any better either to tell her, well, no, we can just feed you better at home.
We can make our own sandwiches.
And we can get our own bread. Well, so by the way, also, I'm pretty sure that this is a fact. It might be, 50%.
Yeah,
a
no, that's
fact,
good. That's
but
good.
that Subway either at one point or still cannot call their bread because it doesn't contain enough wheat to some other ratio
Yeah.
to be considered like actual bread.
Yeah, I believe it.
So it's got so much sugar and other stuff
Yeah.
in it because it's like the quick rise, the quick bread.
Yeah.
that it's technically not real bread.
I believe it.
So I'm sure
They're
we can Google
gross.
that, but it's like it's technically, I don't think it's technically bread.
The movie didn't correct the point you're talking about either. The girl literally says, "I can't get skinny because I can't afford Subway," and then the movie says nothing.
Yeah, they just kind of let it go. Like
It just goes into the next scene. Like, why don't they say?
Did Subway pay for part of this movie?
I don't know, because they're so.
I mean, well, the
nasty.
$65,000. Like that's not. They could
Yeah.
have put a bunch of sandwiches together, and that would have been $65,000.
I would put my money down that if we could get a lab to test like a chicken, and this is all new age, right? This movie's 15 years old, but like there's like an artisan fucking chicken at McDonald's.
Yeah.
And I always base my fast food preferences on what actually tastes like the meat I'm supposed to be eating. Like I say In-N-Out's the best burger, and I actually don't think it's the most palatable or whatever, but it tastes like meat.
Mhm.
Of like a very fast foodie. Talk about Wendy's, Carl's Jr. Whatever.
Yeah.
oh, it tastes like the most realistic.
It tastes like, I think there's
same
meat.
with like Chick-fil-A and their chicken.
Those
right?
are the two I eat. But the chicken at McDonald's, this new one, is some kind of real meat, where I would definitely put money down that whatever Subway meat they give you is more slime than like McDonald's chicken.
Well, the Subway chicken breast
Oh.
is just an unbreaded nugget with literally painted grill marks on it.
It's the grossest
It's not
thing.
real grill marks. Those
I
aren't-
used to
those
eat
aren't
that.
there. That's just edible, like
Black.
edible coloring.
All the produce looks like it's been dyed.
No,
Well,
it
'cause
probably,
probably
has.
has,
Yeah,
yeah.
it probably has.
Like it came out of a Star Trek replicator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no way they take that in and out every day.
Yeah.
That's there for weeks.
Yeah, probably. I don't
Yeah.
know. Nothing about it looks real.
No, it's the worst. I
Having
would
been
wait. I'll eat 100 chicken nuggets right now and be a happy camper rather than a Subway sandwich right now.
Yeah,
down.
I've had bad Subway experiences. So like when we were at Walter Reed years ago, for 6 weeks or whatever it was, like one of the only things you could get on base that was quick was Subway,
Yeah.
and it's one of the only things that my kid Will would eat, and so like we'd go get Subway and bring it back to his room. It's awful. Oh my God, I could never. I can't ever do it again. Not one more Subway sandwich.
I worked next to when I was in high school and like a little bit like in like early college. I worked right next to a Subway / gas station, so like it was Subway like 3-4 days a week.
Yeah.
And like I kind of really start to enjoy the meatball sub and the tuna sub.
Oh, tuna scares me.
The tuna's fire because it's just straight up mayonnaise. If you like mayonnaise, it's really good.
A mayo
Is
sandwich.
it really tuna? Is the question.
Probably not.
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
I bet you the money there, right? Because they could just buy the canned shit.
Maybe.
You're more
I
likely
don't
to
know.
get good tuna than good chicken, I bet.
I think it's as much tuna as the Jack in the Box taco is meat.
Is Mexican.
Oh my God.
You know, it's just like it's
no,
like
he's even less than that.
It's
Oh my
tuna.
God.
It's tuna paste.
Yeah.
You know, it
Another-
doesn't have any texture.
Two
It's like
ideas.
bratwurst or a liverwurst. You know.
Two ideas that popped up in my head about this that we need to dive into, I think, is the lawsuit. Because I think the premise of the lawsuit has some validity hiding in there, or at least a discussion to be had about the responsibility of the consumer and where that lies with kids.
Yeah.
That's a recent thing that's popped up on Twitch. It's a recent thing that's popped up on YouTube. I think that you're not supposed to, if your content on YouTube is directed towards children, anyone under 18, they don't want you running ads on there because of some national, I think, lawsuit about running ads towards kids. Something of that nature. Yeah, Jim? Do you know anything of that? We can dig into
Is
another
it
episode.
specific ads or just
I
ads
think
in general?
I think it's ads in general.
Interesting.
Because and then the argument on television is that ads for like you're watching Superman, that the ads are actually geared towards parents to buy their kids shit. That you're not supposed to advertise to kids. Isn't that a thing?
There are certain things you're not supposed to advertise
Yeah.
directly to kids. I couldn't tell you what they
Yeah,
were.
but there is, and this is like within the last 2 years, this stuff's all popped up on social media type content, which YouTube's probably the most watched kids thing on the planet.
I mean, some kids don't even watch TV. They only
No,
watch YouTube
only-
or
only.
Twitch. Or, yeah.
And then the other discussion, and even there's different interviews, mini interviews. They don't touch on a lot, but like the responsibility of the consumer. Is this lawsuit good? The one lady says, well, we're not buying salads, but you can choose to buy a fucking salad at McDonald's. That's on you. And I kind of do agree with that. When you're an adult.
That has more calories than the Big Mac.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, which he dives into. And then the other conversation, which I think we're going to have our friend Kelly Dean, you're welcome to chat with us next week too, is talking about kind of like the fit shame, fat shame conversation and how you approach that. and obviously none of us do because we're just not those type of people to go comment like, hey, you're a fat cow. But that is like a thing. Or how do you talk about it, or what's healthy, or like clothing or non-clothing, or supplements, like all the marketing around that. This movie is top to bottom filled with fat shaming. Every time he's like eating a burger, they're just like zooming in on fat people behind him.
The guy going to the I remember that one scene, the guy going to the microwave behind him.
Yeah.
That was, he just kind of like gave like a look to the camera.
Yeah.
Like, look at this huge man behind me kind of
It's
look.
so weird.
Yeah,
how they do it is so weird.
You couldn't do that. That wouldn't have flew past the radar.
Not even close.
Today's
and then
market.
and then like half of the B-roll is just like filming fat people in public.
Yeah, in the grocery store.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird how they do it. And that's not even my stance on the whole topic.
No, for sure.
But it's just weird how they do it.
Yeah.
And the implied impact on his health, like his fucking panic attack, trip to the ER.
It's like, my chest is real heavy.
And his liver enzymes being fucked up. The guy was an alcoholic the whole time.
When he talks,
okay. See, I didn't know that.
That's why if you go, if you look at Fathead, he takes the meals that you see on screen and actually breaks the calories out. That's not 5,000 calories.
Well, that goes back to Dean's
also
point.
Slamming booze behind behind the camera.
Yes,
but that goes
That's
back to
why his liver was pickling.
Yes,
that goes back to Dean's point that because the RD or whatever said that he needs 2,500 calories, and that's probably just her dumb calculation. That's probably not.
I mean,
insanely
6'2",
accurate.
If you're 6'2", that seems like a little low.
And he's $185, and if he is walking 10 miles a day, maybe that's just resting, right?
Yeah.
Not the exercise.
Yeah.
But like you said, so then if he's eating 5,000, let's say it is all McDonald's 5,000, but you're walking 5 miles a day, you're going to be just
you said
fine.
Even sometimes 10.
Yeah, you're going to be just fine, right? And that goes back to that whole thing. Yeah, there's alcohol involved. What the other suspect is that it's like his third meal, and he just starts throwing up.
Yeah.
That's fucking. You're fake, dude.
I've eaten fast food 3 times in one day.
You're fine.
Didn't throw up.
A little tummy ache, sure.
Yeah. If, when I was young enough, maybe did nothing.
No, when I was
I was probably
younger,
out skating around, like
don't
running the streets, dude. Like
I'm playing in the championship basketball game after 20 nuggies.
Yeah.
But now, if I do 3-4 days, I'd get a tummy ache.
Yeah,
but
it's like that sort of feeling of bloatedness that you just kind of can't get rid of because your stomach doesn't know what to do with it yet.
Maybe a light
But
headache.
if you ate like shitty for 30 days, your stomach might calm down and then you would gain weight.
you would totally adjust to it.
100%.
Your body would totally accept it and just think of it as normal food.
Yeah.
And that's what happens to people. And that's why they just kind of like it's like when you first like smoke a cigarette or you first like take a dip, like you have like you get almost like a high or something, right? And then like eventually that just doesn't happen anymore, but you're addicted to the food or you're addicted to the nicotine or whatever, and like your body's not reacting to it like as far as like it feeling like wanting to reject it anymore.
Yeah. I go through phases of like cooking at home a bunch, or we have a meal prep here, and then like eating out a bunch. I don't know why. It's just like whether it's schedule or budget, or one day I'm like, all right, whatever, I need convenience, and then I'll go like a week or two and I eat out-ish, and I make better choices than this fool. But even in those transferred phases that aren't like, it's not going from broccoli and chicken at home to Big Mac, supersize, whatever. It's going from like last night I had a regular Chick-fil-A sandwich and a Chick-fil-A salad, right? Like pretty normal. And then last week I was eating at home and I had steak and some veggies. So it's like comparable foods, comparable calories, but because it is out to eat and it is probably more sodium or whatever, I go through like a little mini body transfer.
Oh, for sure.
Where you feel like your energy is a little different.
Feel tighter also when you eat like cleaner food.
Yeah.
Even if it's mental though, still.
But even going back to the clean food, it'll feel like not good for a couple days. Like my stomach will be a little weird eating like fresh ass broccoli you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not unhealthy,
Yeah.
just you feel different.
Yeah, well, you can be a little gassier because you're
Right.
your
Or whatever.
Your gut microbiome is not used to breaking down that stuff because you're not feeding it all the time. And there's, I mean, this is a section we should call hearsay science, but because I've read this, but I couldn't cite it. But your gut microbiome changes based on what you eat.
No, 100%.
I mean, yeah, it
go
adjusts,
back to our episode with was it with Bagley? We talked about biome a lot. Yeah. No, we had a whole episode.
Jimmy
on
Bagley.
It. Yeah, and then it's
Who was a surfer boy? I never would have
I didn't
gotten
know
that
that
anyway going.
The only science that's up in the air is how much that effect of your biome radiates through your body. We don't know if it's like chicken before the egg before the chicken deal.
Yeah,
that they're not 100% sure of. But for sure, what you eat's going to mess with your stomach.
Yeah. And rolling back to some more hearsay science, we were talking about exercise and how it affects weight loss or weight gain or whatever. The issue is really that it will suppress your appetite some if you're putting energy into exercise.
Yeah, sure.
But I think, and here's my agenda. A lot of people who are overweight, they eat to regulate their anxiety or some other thing that's going on.
It's like a trauma response.
Yeah,
right?
and that's why
which could stay trauma or turn into a habit. Either way, like you might be stress eating all the time, but if you stress eat for ate for a month, now you just have a habit of eating 3 burgers at night.
Yeah, and furthermore, that if you tell somebody who's overweight, hey, you need to give up doing this thing, and that's the thing they find that regulates their mood and like their ability to move through life without just crushing anxiety or whatever else they've got going on. Well, of course they don't want to do it, and of course it's difficult to make that kind of change. It needs to be more than just a diet thing.
100%.
Lifestyle change.
Well,
right?
that is a comparison of like real food addiction, which probably, I don't know what the numbers they're making up, right? They said like 40% of America's fat or whatever, 1 in 4 in Texas or what the hell those numbers are. I bet 1 in 4 of those people also actually have a food addiction rather than bad habits. And when you're talking something like that, that's like going to an alcoholic and saying, hey, Jim, you're going to have 1 Budweiser tonight, not 3. Like, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
That's not going to just change,
You
right? And that's why
need a program. You need a step program. You need,
Right.
Some people can do it with pure willpower, but that's a small percentage.
and
of people,
even
right?
those ones, like if you're an actual addict, and I'm no expert by any means, but like that's why addicts don't drink. They don't go like, yeah, I'll just have 1 beer with you. Like they just don't
You
drink.
just got to cut it all out.
Right, and that makes sense. And food is a little different because you have to have food. You have to find a way to regulate it. You can't just say, I'm not going
You
to
can't stop
eat.
eating, yeah.
Or I'm just going to eat lettuce. Which is, again, dumb on his wife's part, who's not a registered dietitian. Just like, all right, we're going to cleanse you with vegan food.
Yeah, there's a ton of juice just packed with sugar, even though insulin and sugar levels
Yeah.
are skyrocketed.
He's going to
Let's
shit
just
his
throw
brains out.
more sugar.
It just makes no sense. Rather than like, and you don't think he's going to go sneak off and eat some nuggets or something. Like, of course he is. He's going to crave that shit forever. Like, but again, why don't we just find that balance? And balance is a hard word and it's a hard thing to understand.
Yeah.
But that education from this whole thing or propaganda from this whole thing is just so the fuck off. Like, eat greens, eat salmon only. Like, shut the fuck up.
And even looking at those vegan meals that she was making, we kind of said this earlier,
yeah.
but it's like those were just like just tons of fat and tons of carbohydrates. Like that's not any better, any different. You just happen to make it yourself.
Right.